Mantour Ministries presents the Mantour Guy Podcast. We may talk about football. We could mention bacon. We might reference Rocky movies. We'll probably discuss the Mantour conferences, but we'll definitely talk about how to grow in our walk with God. Here's your host, the Mantour Guy, Jamie Holden.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Mantour Guy Podcast. I'm Jamie Holden, and today we're excited to air our 5th annual Thanksgiving episode of the Mantour Guy Podcast. As we enter into the holiday season, I don't want to hop right into the hustle and bustle of Christmas without taking time to give thanks for the many blessings in my life. I wanted to share my list with you today of things I'm thankful for this year. So let's get started. Psalms 100 verse 4 says, "Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name." So that's what we're going to do this week on this week's podcast. Can I be brutally honest with you guys? This has been one of the toughest years for me, both personally and in ministry. You think it would have been 2020 with everything that happened in that year, but personally, that was a cakewalk to what I faced in 2021. I had moments in this year where discouragement, grief, physical and emotional pain, and so many other things left me dumbfounded and unsure how to go forward. I had to do some real soul searching in 2021. I had to come to a place where I had to say, God, even if things never change, and even if you don't come through, I will still follow you. I don't ride or die with you because of what you do for me. I do it because I love you and am grateful for you. I will not let discouragement destroy my walk with you. So despite the tough year of heartbreaking challenges, I chose to be grateful and express my thankfulness to God. So here's my 2022 list of 10 things that I am thankful for this year. Number 10. I am thankful for friends who supported us, prayed with us, and listened to us this tough year. Like I said, it's been a really hard year, and I don't know how we could have made it through without the support of some really good friends. These friends were there for us to encourage us and give us much needed perspective and input. Most importantly, they let us be human and admit the struggles we had without judgment or condemnation. They were such a help in this time of need. I am so thankful for their friendship. Number 9. I am thankful I survived COVID. A few days after last Thanksgiving, my entire family caught the dreaded COVID-19 virus. We had worried about catching it for months. Because of my asthma and other health issues, we had no idea if I would be able to survive this virus. We were so careful. For weeks before I caught it, we only went one place. We had stayed at home every day, except one day we went to a doctor's appointment. And when you know it, that's where we caught the virus. And Destin and I, we had it pretty bad. I had a high fever for 13 days, and I had lost the taste and smell. I became well acquainted with my toilet. I would lay in bed every night and beg God not to send me to the hospital because it was an hour away and because my deductible was so high. It was a horrible experience, and it took at least 6 weeks until I was fully recovered and had my energy back. But I am thankful that we all survived. And now we have antibodies and natural immunity to help us as we continue doing the work God called us to do with the Mantour conferences. Number 8, the sense of taste and smell. I know that sounds like a weird thing to be thankful for, but I really appreciate these two senses after I lost them during COVID. There is no weirder sensation than eating something, knowing in your mind what it's supposed to taste like, but not being able to taste it. It was so weird. It made eating a horrible experience. It was a bear. I was so happy when this part of COVID ended and my sense of taste and smell returned. And it made me truly appreciative of these two senses in my body. Number 7, we held 6 Mantours in 2021. I am so thankful that we were able to hold 6 in-person Mantours last year. We faced so much opposition doing these conferences coming out of the COVID shutdown. I had so many people telling me, do not do Mantour conferences this year or do them virtually. People told me no one would come. They said expect at best 25% of the normal turnout you receive. I had so much discouragement thrown my way. However, I really felt God leading me to do these in-person conferences. I felt it was important. It was a terrifying step of faith to go against the advice of so many people, but I knew God had told me to go forward. So I chose to ride and die in obedience to do what he told me to do. And we ended up having a fabulous year of conferences. Losses in attendance were barely noticeable. The attitude of the men who attended was the best we'd ever experienced as they came excited and expecting God to move. We had men accepting Christ. Men were coming to the altar and getting right with God. It was one of our best years of conferences ever. I can't wait to see what God does in 2022. Number 6, I am thankful for the best sister a man could ever ask for. Odessa is not just a sibling, she's my closest friend. I never would have made it through the many years and ups and downs in our life without her. People have no idea how much Odessa has to do to help me with what God has called me to do because of my disability. Few would be willing to do what she has to do, but she does it with a servant's heart and a loving heart. I am truly blessed to have her as a sister and a partner in crime. Well, I mean ministry, but she is such amazing woman of God. I am so blessed to have her. She's fun. She has the guts to tell me when I'm wrong, to stand up to me. She is such a blessing to my life, and I am so thankful for the best sister a guy could ever ask for. All right, guys, we reached the halfway point of the list. What are my top 5 things I'm thankful for this year? We're going to find this out right after the break.
The Mantour Guy Podcast, helping men grow in their walk with God.
Gentlemen, start your engine. The 2022 Ignition Mantours are coming up fast. You need to plan to be at your local Mantour conference as we ask the important question, will you ride or die with God? Featuring manly worship, challenging messages, and a chance to respond to God's challenge, the Ignition Mantour Conference is the shot in the arm that you and your church's men need. For conference dates, locations, and speaker information, visit MantourMinistries.com today. Make sure you're at your 2022 local Mantour conference and bring as many men with you as possible. We'll see you there.
For Mantour conference dates and locations, visit MantourMinistries.com.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Like what you're hearing? Head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Thanks.
Pornography is affecting millions of men, including Christians. Have you seen the effects of porn on your church? Perhaps you feel at a loss when facing the destructive force of pornography. Covenant Eyes is here to help. We created Strive, an anonymous 21-day porn detox for men. Strive will educate and equip men with powerful weapons for this battle. Contact our team today and see how Covenant Eyes and Strive can equip the men in your church to defeat pornography for good.
Yep. You're listening to the Mantour Guy Podcast.
Will you be a ride or die man of God? This is the challenge contained in the pages of our new book for men. Ride or Die examines the lives of 10 men who set an amazing example of extreme loyalty to God. No matter what he asked or what circumstances they faced, they always fist pumped and said, "Let's do this. I'll ride or die with you." Each chapter challenges us to follow in their footsteps and accept the call to be men who are wholeheartedly devoted to God. Filled with practical applications for today's culture, this book will inspire you to say, "I'll ride or die with God."
Order your copy today at MantourMinistries.com. Listen to the Mantour Guy Podcast on the go via Apple Podcast and Google Play. Thanks.
Will you ride or die with God's Word? Join the ride to take part in this year-long Bible reading plan designed to help you become a strong, on-fire, ride or die man of God. The 365-day Ride or Die Bible Plan features 52 devotionals from pastors, speakers, and men's leaders, 6 days of Bible reading, and a devotional on the 7th day. It has relevant topics for men to aid in your spiritual growth. It also features a verse of the day and hand-selected Bible passages to keep you engaged all year long. This year, you can join the Ride or Die Bible Plan 2 ways. You can receive it for free via email beginning January 1st, 2022, or for the first time ever, we have made our year-long Bible plan available in a paperback version that you can purchase to have a physical copy. To join this Bible plan, visit MantourMinistries.com/Bible plan. Guys, take advantage of this year-long Bible reading plan, become a part of it, and become a man of the Word.
Order your copy today at MantourMinistries.com. Welcome back to the Mantour Guy Podcast.
Welcome back to our special Thanksgiving episode of the Mantour Guy Podcast as we continue to look at my list of 10 things that I am thankful for this year. Let's take a look here at number 5. I am thankful for my new, used minivan. I recently became the proud owner of a minivan. Okay, proud is an overstatement. Being completely honest with you, when I first started looking for a new vehicle, a minivan was the last thing I wanted. As you know, I'm a traveling minister and a missionary, and we spent a lot of time in the car. I had a 2013 Toyota RAV4 that we bought used. We do about 20 to 25,000 miles a year, and we had it for 6 years, so you can do the math. We need a good, reliable car for what we do. Plus, when I bought the RAV4, I didn't have the mobility scooter that I need now physically to do what God calls me to do. So I didn't have room in the SUV anymore for everything we need to take with us for the conferences and the mobility scooter. It took up the whole back. We loaded up the car. It was like a game of Tetris trying to fit everything in. And every time somebody would help us at a conference pack up, they would say, "This is ridiculous. You guys need to get a bigger vehicle. It's not gonna fit." Many days we drove to Mantour's and home from Mantour's not being able to see a single thing out the back of the window. It was just a need we had to do, and we bought a new minivan. So we began to look at these used vehicles, and I wanted to get a 3-row SUV. They're a cooler car, they're more trending, they're more young. I mean, hey, I'm a single guy, I don't have kids. Why would I ever need a minivan? And every time we went and looked at one of these SUVs, we'd look at the 3-row SUVs and always see that they weren't going to work. They didn't give us any more cargo room than what we already had. And every friend I talked to and asked advice from, every advisor I spoke to, even the car salesman, when I would go and look at a car, they would say, "Why don't you just get a minivan?" I had really close friends who constantly were saying, "You need to get a minivan. They're more roomy, they're more comfortable, you'll be able to fit everything you need to into it. It's your best option." But I just didn't want to hear it. I didn't want any part of a minivan. But eventually I came to a place where I realized, all right, Jamie, you need to submit your strong will and get the minivan. You're not as young as you used to be. You're not hip. You're not cool. You know, a majority of your life you spent riding around a mobility scooter. You wear black shoes with white socks and shorts everywhere you go because they're the only shoes you can wear. You're just not that cool. Get the vehicle that suits your needs. So now we have a minivan. And don't tell anybody I said this, but I absolutely love it. More importantly, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was God leading me to move on from the RAV4 into the minivan. And how can I be so sure of this? Well, the answer is found in this 4th thing that I'm thankful for. I am thankful for my new mobility scooter. Shortly after we bought the minivan, my trusty mobility scooter died, and I desperately need this scooter to do the work of the ministry, and I was stunned that I had to get a new one. Honestly, the ministry didn't have the funds to go buy a new one, and they are not cheap. Even worse, there's a national shortage of mobility scooters right now in the country. They're in at least a 6-month back order, and I searched high and low over 3 states until I finally found a store about 2 hours away that had a scooter in stock. However, this scooter was much bigger than my old one, and immediately I understood the need for a van because this thing never would have fit in our SUV, not to mention everything else we had to take with us. And as far as to how to pay for it, this was a miracle. A pastor friend felt the Holy Spirit leading him in the middle of his sermon to stop and take an offering for Mantour Ministries. And the offering was for the exact amount we needed for the scooter. I mean, what a powerful blessing and a miracle. And now I have a comfortable, powerful scooter to help me keep reaching men and fulfill my calling. I am so thankful for this blessing. Number 3, I am thankful for a new scooter lift. Well, the new scooter I had to get because of the shortages was way bigger and way heavier than my old one, and I couldn't begin to lift it in and out of the van. Because of this, I had to buy a scooter lift and have it installed in the van. Again, something that never would have fit into the SUV. I had no idea how to pay for this lift. It was expensive and we were broke. But it had to be bought, so I ordered it. A few days later, I received a check in the mail from a church who made a donation to the ministry for the exact amount we needed for the lift. It truly was a miracle. The church had no idea we had this need, but God knew, and He provided what we needed. And I love the lift. It is so much easier to unload and unload the scooter, and we can leave the scooter fully assembled so it's not going to break as fast as the old one did. I am so thankful for this scooter lift. I can load it and unload it in like 5 minutes and not be like sore and out of breath and sweaty when it's done. It is such a blessing. I truly am thankful for this lift. Number 2, I am so grateful and thankful for all the churches who supported us both financially and in prayer this year. This honestly was the toughest financial year we have ever experienced as a ministry because of the shutdown and the loss of ability to go speak in churches. As we rolled into January, our ministry bank account was almost completely empty. Then we received several unexpected large bills that we had to pay from companies and organizations that raised their fees to cover their own COVID expenses. We had to pay these bills. We didn't have a choice, and we were in big financial trouble. Thankfully, our supporting churches remained faithful, and God started doing some miracles. He had some one-time donations come to the ministry, and we made it through this financial crisis. God provided, and we had another successful year of ministry. But the past year emphasized the need to raise our full mission support budget. I am so thankful that we have raised half of our monthly financial support. We are almost halfway there. I am so grateful for the churches, the men's ministries, and the individuals who are monthly financial supporters of the ministry God has called me to do. This financial support allows me to focus 100% on reaching men inside and outside the church with the gospel. It allows us to hold Mantour conferences, to produce the resources, to reach men in prisons, and to even do this podcast. I appreciate these people who have shown their belief in this ministry and the work we do by investing their hard-earned money into our ministry. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much it means to me. With that said, it's vital to raise the remaining budget. And if you haven't already supported, you can help us do it. If you want to help with the remaining 50%, you can go to giving.ag.org and give using my account number 281396. That's giving.ag.org, and you can use the account number 281396 or just type James Holden into the search. You can also give online at mentorministries.com. All gifts are tax deductible. Your support would be extremely appreciated. We strive to not waste 1 cent of the money that is given to this ministry. But we desperately need your help. We're a traveling ministry with the price of gas going through the roof. We need more support to help with the funds that pay for gas. Maybe you'd like to be a monthly supporter who buys us a tank of gas every year for $50. That would be amazing. Whatever God lays in your heart, whether it be a one-time gift or become a monthly supporter, we would be appreciative of your helping us. But we just wanted to say in this podcast, I am so grateful to everybody who supports us financially in the ministry and through prayers. All right, guys, it's time for the number one thing I'm thankful for this year. And that is, I am so thankful that God has been faithful this year and helped us through. Like I said, 2021 was a year like no other for us. And it had some highs and it had some many, many lows. But through it all, God was here. His presence was so strong, and he led and guided us through the good times and through the bad. He made a way where there seemed to be no way. He provided all of our needs, and he helped us stay afloat financially in the face of severe opposition. He gave us the strength and the will to persevere and push through really hard personal, emotional, mental, physical situations. He never left us. He never forsook us. He was there through it all. I am so thankful to him for everything he did for us in 2021, and I'm going to ride or die with him in 2022. Not because of what he does for us, because I love him.
The Mantour Guys Final Thought.
I am so excited to jump into Christmas. It's my favorite time of the year. To be honest, I already have been watching Christmas movies and listening to Christmas music and wearing my Christmas t-shirts. But before we go full steam ahead with Christmas, I felt it was important to have this special Thanksgiving episode. Now, I'm not going to be like the turkey who said to Santa, get out of here, fatso, it's not your turn yet. I love Christmas. And like I said, I've been watching the movies, listening to Elvis sing the classics for a while now. We even have a tree up back in October. However, I believe we need to take time to celebrate Thanksgiving and to show our appreciation to God and to others he has placed in our lives. That's why I share every year my top 10 list with you. And again, I encourage you, make a list of 10 things of your own that you are grateful for. Express your gratitude and thankfulness for the many blessings in your life. Even in the hardest of times or toughest of circumstances, we all have things to be thankful for. Guys, another thing I am thankful for is that you continually give us your time to listen. I'd love it if you took a second and shared this podcast to your social media accounts. We'd love to be able to reach even more men and help them grow in their walk with God. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. This helps us with the algorithms to help more men be able to find us when they do a search for Christian podcasts. Also, do not forget to visit MantourMinistries.com to learn more about our 2022 conferences, our books, and our resources. You can find the dates, locations, the speaker info, everything you need to know about the 2021 Ride or Die Mantour conferences. The promo materials are there. You can print them and hang them up in your church. There's a promo video you can download to show the men. All that available at MantourMinistries.com. You can also read the first chapter of our new resource, Ride or Die, for free. You can learn more about the Ride or Die 365-day Bible plan at the MantourMinistries.com, and so much more is available at the website. So guys, take advantage and visit the website today. But I just want to end with saying have a great Thanksgiving. We're going to be off next week, but we will be back with a new episode on December 6th. I'll leave you this year with the same words we always end our Thanksgiving episode with. One of my favorite Thanksgiving quotes from one of my favorite Thanksgiving TV shows. It's from Mr. Carlson from WKRP in Cincinnati. If you don't know what that is, Google it. With God as my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week on the Mantour Guy Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Mantour Guy Podcast. Be sure to visit MantourMinistries.com to learn more about our books, men's ministry resources, and our Mantour conferences.
Hey guys, Mantour Guy Jamie Holden here. Are you looking for a speaker at your church or for your men's breakfast, or your next men's event, men's retreat, or men's conference? Well, why not bring me in to speak? God has been moving among men as I've been sharing an encouraging word of freedom and victory. We're seeing lives change, men being saved, people being set free, and guys, chains are being broken. So if your church has hurting men and women, contact me to come share this encouraging word of hope and victory to help you grow in your walk with God.
The Mantour Guy Podcast, helping men grow in their walk with God.